His eyes were already on me before I even turned around. I could feel them, heavy, hungry, tracing every inch of me like I was something to be placed on a table and served. And when I finally dared to meet that stare, it was confirmed. He didn't just want me, he needed me. That night was supposed to be casual. Just a neighborhood dinner, nothing more. But when his hand brushed against mine while reaching for the wine bottle, my body betrayed me. The spark jolted through my veins like fire touching gasoline. My lips parted before I even realized, a soft gasp escaping. "Don't look at me like that," I whispered, but my voice trembled, betraying my resolve. He leaned in, his breath warm against my ear. "Why not? You know you want to be devoured." And God help me, I did. Before I let you in deeper, before I unwrap the madness that became my daily addiction, let me pause here. If you're listening to my story right now, don't forget. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and share this video with someone who craves a secret thrill. Because what I'm about to confess is not for the faint of heart. It all started months before that night, when loneliness began creeping into my marriage like an uninvited guest. My husband, God bless his decent heart, had become routine. Predictable kisses, predictable words, predictable love. But me? I was a woman starving, a woman craving something wild, something reckless. And then he walked in. He wasn't supposed to be in my life. He was younger, bolder, carrying himself with that arrogant swagger that screamed danger. Yet, that danger felt like oxygen to me. From the first smile he gave me, I knew, if I let him close, he would ruin me. Still, I let him. Our first real moment happened on a rainy evening. The storm outside rattled the windows, and he came over under the pretense of dropping off some files. But the second he stepped inside, the air shifted. My body betrayed me again, pulling toward him like a magnet. He reached out, cupping my cheek, his thumb brushing against my lips. My knees buckled, and before I could think, his mouth was on mine, hot, fierce, claiming. I melted. Completely. And that was the night he started seeing me as his dish, something to feast on daily. Something he refused to share, something he demanded with a hunger that left me both shaken and addicted. But what's absurd is not just his obsession with me. It's how willingly, how eagerly, I let myself be consumed. The morning after always carried a strange silence. My husband, still believing in the picture-perfect wife, kissed me on the cheek as he left for work. His lips were light, polite, as though they belonged to a man more committed to duty than desire. And while he walked out the door with his tie straight and his faith in me intact, I stood by the window clutching my coffee, knowing I was a woman with two lives stitched together by lies. And then my phone vibrated. It was him, the man who saw me not as a wife, not as a mother, not as some weary woman folding laundry and cooking meals. To him, I was something else entirely. His text was short, but it struck like fire on dry skin. "You know I can't go a day without tasting you." I swallowed hard, my knees weakening at just those words. I shouldn't have replied. God knows, I should have deleted it and gone on with my day. But my thumbs betrayed me. "Then come. You know where I'll be." Yes, my dear listener, I know you're leaning closer now, curious, maybe even judging me. But if you've ever felt that rush of being wanted, so deeply, so hungrily, as if you were the only dish a starving man could devour, you'll understand. And if you're already caught in the spell of my confession, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it, because these secrets aren't just mine. They belong to anyone who has ever drowned in forbidden fire. By noon, I was in his car. His hand found my thigh before his eyes even checked the road. His hunger was reckless, and I was shamefully addicted to it. Every brush of his fingers made my body betray me in ways words will never do justice. "You're mine," he whispered, voice hoarse, as if he hadn't spoken all morning, saving it for me. And God help me, I believed him. We didn't go far, just a motel at the edge of town, the kind of place where curtains never quite close, where the sheets are too white for the sins they cover. He pulled me inside, his mouth claiming mine before the door even latched shut. It wasn't romance, it was raw hunger. He devoured me like he'd been starving for days, and I, foolish, weak, craving, let him. Every touch, every breathless kiss, every frantic movement felt like an exorcism of the woman I was at home. The obedient wife dissolved. The secret lover thrived. And yet, even in the blur of lust, a question gnawed at me. Was this addiction destroying me, or was it the only thing keeping me alive? I'll let you decide, but don't judge too quickly. You might just find pieces of yourself in my confession. I used to think once would be enough. Once should have been the memory that carried me through sleepless nights, the one guilty spark that I could replay when my husband turned away too soon in bed. But with him, it never stopped at once. Each day became its own dangerous ritual. He looked at me not as a woman to be cherished, but as something he must devour. Like I was his morning coffee, his evening wine, his midnight craving he couldn't quit. Come over, he'd text, simple, shameless. And every single time, my chest would flutter, my fingers trembling as I typed back, on my way. I told myself I was strong enough to resist. I told myself that what we had was absurd, temporary, something that would fade like a flame when the air got too heavy. But instead, it grew hotter, thicker, reckless. That night, in his apartment, he pinned me against the counter, his lips burning trails along my neck as though he'd been starved for centuries. You know I can't stop, he whispered into my ear, voice rough, desperate. You become my daily dish, and I'll lose my mind if I don't taste you. And God help me, I let him. Somewhere in the haze of his mouth and my moans, I thought about all the people living their quiet, normal lives beyond those walls. Neighbors folding laundry. Couples watching TV. Families eating dinner. And here I was, trembling, reckless, letting another man consume me like it was the only thing that gave me life. But inside that madness, I couldn't deny it, his hunger gave me something my marriage never did, urgency. Fire. The feeling that I was wanted not tomorrow, not later, not politely, but now, raw and undone. And to those of you watching this, yes, I know. It sounds insane. It is insane. But if you've ever been touched so deeply that you forgot your name, your vows, your rules, then maybe you'll understand. Before I go deeper into how absurd this all became, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel, because trust me, the story only gets more dangerous from here. I should have learned by now. But instead, every day felt like I was plated and served, waiting for him to devour me as though I was nothing more than his favorite dish. It didn't matter if my body ached from the night before, or if my heart whispered that I should stop. The moment his eyes locked on me, I was finished. He didn't even need to speak. His presence was a command, and I obeyed, trembling between fear and fevered desire. And every time it happened, I told myself it would be the last. But by morning, I was there again, stretched, consumed, and drained like a dish served daily, ridiculous, absurd, yet intoxicatingly irresistible. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. I whisper to you now, because my story is far from over. You followed me through the heat, the hunger, and the insanity, and I want you right here with me till the end. His touch had become ritual. His appetite had no pause. And me? I wasn't just guilty, I was addicted. That's the madness of it. I thought I was in control, but in truth, I was nothing more than his dish of the day. I used to laugh at the idea of being addicted to a man. I thought I was too smart, too careful, too married to ever let my body rule me. But now? Now I was living proof that lust was a stronger chain than any vow, stronger than reason, stronger than the guilt I buried each morning beside my wedding band. He saw me as a must-devour dish, a plate he could never push away. Daily. Absurd. That's how it began to feel, absurd that my body would still ache for him after nights that left me trembling, absurd that every glance across a room could still ignite a fire I couldn't put out. That afternoon, his mouth was on me before words could form. The hunger in him was relentless, like I was the only meal he could survive on. He didn't just kiss me, he feasted. He devoured me with the reckless appetite of a starving man. And I let him. God, I let him. I whispered, "This is crazy, we can't keep doing this," but my fingers were already pulling him closer, dragging him deeper into me. My body lied, even when my lips tried to confess. And maybe that's why I'm here, telling you my story anonymously. My name doesn't matter, only the truth of how I was consumed, how I became his menu of desire, how absurd it felt to live two lives, wife at home, forbidden dish in his arms. Before I go on, don't forget, if my story is pulling you in, subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, and share it. Trust me, what you give keeps me brave enough to keep confessing. Because some of you will judge me, I know. But others? You'll understand. You'll know what it feels like to be seen not as a woman, but as a craving. To be wanted with a fire so intense that it makes you forget the life you're betraying. That night, after he left, I stood in front of my mirror. My skin was bruised in places only he could reach, my lips still swollen from his devouring. And I smiled, even when I knew I shouldn't. Absurd or not, I had become his daily dish. And the truth? I was already waiting for tomorrow's serving.